We're behind track limits, and this is our racing recap podcast of the French Grand Prix. I'm doing an awkward way. The awkward way. Okay, so do we want to start with qualifying?
I don't remember.
Or the 42 seconds of it was 41 seconds that Q1 lasted before somebody took it out with a red flag.
Who? I can't remember. Was it Yuki?
Yuki. It was Yuki.
Yeah, I've honestly forgotten the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Very sad moment. I was
The car
nearly
was like
in
shaking like
tears.
mad though. Did you see that?
Yeah,
It was
that was
like
strange.
Yeah.
Catherine, and I was like,
I saw so many like hips don't lie memes.
yeah.
Yes.
And like the 30 minutes after that happened, it was just Shakira, hips don't lie, you know, all sorts of different things and takes on that. But yeah, no, I thought something might have been broken, like his gearbox, and he was going to get penalties. But I think they replaced his gearbox.
Yeah, because he stuck in the pit lane.
Yeah, he did, didn't
Yeah.
he? Stuff,
Yeah.
Like I went into Q3 with not enough fuel by Luke, which is
I was
always
so confused.
fantastic.
Yeah.
It was. They were like, you need to box now. You need to box now, and he was like, okay. And like, how do you forget that they've got to do an out lap, a flying lap, and then an in lap? Like,
Yeah.
They literally have computers that tell them this. Of like how much fuel to put in and stuff.
I'd be
Like,
a better
they literally
race
have
engineer.
data.
McLaren,
Yeah.
hire me,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
mad on this. Should be sorted.
I'd be on it.
It could have cost
and
me
Mick-
a race in Q3, so.
Yeah, Mick.
Mick making it into Q2 but not being able
And
to
then
start,
crashing.
If
and
that
his
is not
crash's
heartbreaking,
impact
it
on
is.
Lance.
Also,
Yeah.
George did an amazing lap, and then Mick went and crashed, and then George couldn't finish that amazing lap because he would have been in like a good
Yeah,
position.
George was on an absolute flyer. Lance was on a flyer as well.
Yeah, we're
And
like,
because his previous lap had been deleted for track limits, it was like,
Yeah.
and I would like to talk about track limits really quickly,
yeah,
and just mention them, because if you go over track limits at like turn 4, I think it was, for Paul Ricard, you got your lap time deleted. But if you went over track limits on turn 2, you didn't get your time deleted, because I know Mercedes questioned the stewards on this because Max kept going wide at turn 2, and they were like, why isn't his lap being deleted? But they weren't watching turn 2. That wasn't one of the ones where if you went wide you had your lap deleted. So I feel like they need to do something about this, because track limits have been spoken about for a while now.
It's always like teams get like confused, and I think before each weekend they need to like sit down and like tell them like this is where the track limits is, like this is where you can get your lap time deleted, to make it clearer, because otherwise I feel like there's arguing all through the weekend with teams like, oh, this team went off, but then they're not watching it. So it needs to be specified for teams and stuff, because you never know, like they could gain more time at say like turn 2, because you know you won't get your lap time deleted, but like say like Mercedes, they probably think, oh, if you go out on turn 2 that you're going to get it deleted. So they need to sort of specify, because it would help teams a lot more.
Yeah.
I feel like it almost just needs to be a blanket rule. You go wide at a corner, that's it. Like it's either every corner or no corner, I feel like, because
That's true.
you know
Yeah.
that's the whole point of track limits, you know.
Yeah.
But that's just my point.
Yeah, FIA, we are all here. We will all happily do it.
We will sit your stewards exams. We will do it. We'll be
we will do the drivers' briefings, and we will
Yeah.
upload them on YouTube again because I miss them.
Yeah.
I wish we could watch them again.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so good.
I just missed the drama, because it used to be Roman Grosjean used to ask all the
The
questions,
Yeah.
and
Brother,
After the checker flag, are you allowed to undo the belt?
no.
All right.
Any further?
Well, I think Lewis has been doing it quite a lot.
You say undo or loosen them?
the seatbelt one, and then Checo's face
Checo.
like.
Checo's like,
Well, like I say, we tend to rely on your teams telling us.
Fully lagged for like 5-10
Honestly.
seconds there.
literally.
Like, you can see the cogs
He was
turning. He's just
processing
like,
that. He was
He was like,
Race. I was expecting it to be really boring. I must say.
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
Paul Ricard, no,
And it was
let's not watch
great.
it. It's be boring.
Oh yeah, Max's start wasn't great, going off track. But
Well, Max's start itself was
Yes.
great. He had a great
Yeah.
start, and then
yeah,
he
Lewis
just
and Max had like pretty
Yeah.
similar
then
starts.
he went off.
he went
Yeah.
off,
It
and
was
I
gonna
kid
hit
you not, I threw my
forward.
laptop,
Yeah.
and
I was like, what?
I was just because I had I had Queen's tennis on the TV in the background, and then I
How's
had
it
the
feel?
Formula One on my lap in my laptop, and I got so excited that I stood up and my laptop went flying, and luckily it landed on one of the spare cat beds in the living room.
That is so lucky.
I know. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. And
It
I
would
was
have
like,
been worth it.
oh my gosh, no.
It would have been worth it if Lewis actually won, but like,
Yeah.
if he broke it and like Lewis didn't win, that's
That would be.
I know. Having to explain that to my parents. So yeah. Just got a little bit heated.
But honestly, I don't really remember much about the race. I remember like
Exactly.
Daniel's overtake. On,
Daniel was overtaking
I
left,
think it was
right,
Alonso.
and
We
centre.
all picked Alonso, I think.
Overtaking King.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
late
he overtook
braking.
Alonso,
That was
and then
with
Alonso
Lando.
seemed to just leave the door open for Lando.
Yeah, there on you go.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know who was overtaking, but the late braking, like he like literally broke as soon as he was like coming into the corner, and it was literally amazing.
It's the way
Yeah.
he like was behind him and then jerked out and then went like
Yeah.
this is was I thought was he's the overtaking king. Like what do we expect? Like,
It
Oh my
was the
God.
old Daniel. That was very much
yeah,
Red Bull
I
Daniel.
saw Daniel there. I was like, yeah,
He was
he's
strong
back.
in that race.
He's back. I think he's up there.
Yeah, I think he's getting.
Well, I
to
think all the
that.
hours spent at the factory really helped, because
Yeah.
and I know they built him a new chassis and everything, so that
Yeah.
the car was a lot more sort of tailored to him, and
Because
all
they
the
didn't really
hours
have
that
much
he put
time
in.
to sort Daniel out, did they? They have like maybe like a month or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've said this once and I'll say it again, people keep comparing him to Carlos.
Yeah.
Ferrari flaunts so many rules, and they get
Not
away
the
with
Ferrari
it because
hating, not the Ferrari hating.
Don't do this to me, Maddie. I'll be sat in the corner like that.
Yeah, Ellie's gonna fight you, honestly.
it's like people comparing Checo, Pierre and Alex.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fully fair, because they hadn't had the years in Formula One. And then people comparing Carlos's start at Ferrari, which we can talk about Ferrari at Paul Ricard.
Do we have to? Do we have to though?
I feel like we kind of have to. I mean, Charles really went for his,
I know
his
someone who we should
driver's
talk
number
about.
there.
I don't know if anyone realised. I wasn't really paying attention. Well, I was, but like I wasn't. But like George had a really, really bad start. And then suddenly he finished P12.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
in a
he-
Williams
that start.
above above the two Alfa Romeos, was it? Or a one.
Yeah.
And then above off one. And Yuki. What? Like how honestly. So close to points, but
Ferrari was something that weekend. Had no pace. I wanted to cry the whole time. I was just see Charles just go. Hurting a lot.
I did
Where
think
did
it was
Charles
funny how he
finish?
ended up in P16 and his driver number is driver 16.
He finished
Yeah.
16th. Oh my god, did
Yeah.
he? I thought he finished
Yeah.
at P11 or something.
No,
that was
he's
P12.
gone now.
How
And
did
Carlos
Williams finish
only,
above
like-
Ferrari?
Carlos was like 4 seconds ahead of George. And
Yeah.
then was it Seb who came 10th or Lance? One of those
Lance,
Aston
yeah.
Martins was like another 5 seconds in front there. And I was like, okay, so if we added a few more laps, yes, Lewis might lose second, but George could score points. It was like,
Yeah.
which one do I want more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Championship is a bit muddled up though now, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's getting interesting though. That's
Yeah.
what we like to see. We like to see a bit of a battle. We like to see.
As a work fan, thankfully no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, I have to say,
I wouldn't mind if Red Bull win. It's just I want Lewis to win his 8th. Like I don't mind if Red Bull wins because I am a Red Bull fan.
Yeah.
Seb, Daniel, Alex, like I am a Red Bull fan, Checo even. But if Lewis doesn't win his 8th, I will be rioting. Okay.
It's not that I don't want Red Bull to win. I mean, I don't want Red Bull to win, but I don't want Max to win.
Yes, that's just my point.
I think
same.
Checo deserves, Sergio Perez, he deserves
Checo
all
deserves
the good
world.
stuff that he can get, because I don't think that he's got a long contract, or like
I think they're going to sign him another year. After
they
his
might sign him
performance.
another year, but I can't
hope
see it
they do.
extending much further.
Oh, but
I
I
don't
do
see him
want
as
to see
much
Max
as
win his first championship though, because your first championship's always the most special. And I feel like just
Max
seeing a
can
brand
win
new
his
driver.
I do
first
kind of want Max to win.
Lewis isn't here
after
anymore.
Lewis has secured his 8th and is unquestionably the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I will be happy with a Max win. But as soon as like this year's over, right? And let's say like Lewis leaves end this year. I don't think he will. But we've got George, our good driver, coming up to Merck. We also know Valtteri's not going to be staying.
Potentially, we don't.
We don't know,
don't
but like
actually
I feel
know
like
this,
he's.
but
I feel like he's been.
it's like Valtteri is still in contention. Sorry, I've got a bit of a twitch.
I feel like George is going to have to get used to the Merc in his first year. He's also not going to be amazing. Although when he was driving in Sakir, he was,
Amazing.
0.002 off second
Yeah.
off pole. So we could easily have George even fighting for world champion next year. So it could be Max, Lewis, and George fighting for world champion next year. And then when Lewis leaves, it'll be Max versus George. And I personally believe that George will get it before Max if they're in the battle for it.
I don't know. I don't see that. I feel like George is going to have
Really?
a couple.
Okay.
Have to have like a
Mel?
couple seasons and everything.
No, can I? No, I'm honestly.
Because obviously, like Max has got the experience. Like Red Bull's working really, really well for him at the moment. Is where I don't know. I just feel like Red Bull's sort of coming into their own at the moment. Like they are like getting to where they need to be with Mercedes and everything. So I think Max could get one very soon.
Yeah,
I would rephrase
Definitely.
that slightly. It's not that Red Bull are coming into their own. It's that other teams have petitioned and worn down the FIA to the point that they changed the rules. So the rules now punish teams like Mercedes that run low rate cars.
Because it was like the DAS system and stuff. Like they're not allowed.
No, they're allowed the DAS system.
Are they?
Yeah,
They're
they're
running
allowed
it this year.
It's not an aerodynamic thing. It's a mechanical piece. It's not aerodynamic.
Yeah.
That's the argument for it, which was why it was allowed. But
the FIA honestly have so much different rules and like they kind of favor it.
Well, they did it
rather
to
than
make
going.
the racing more exciting, and I think we can all agree that the racing has been more exciting.
Yeah.
It's I'm probably going to get some heart problems by the end of the year, but it has been more exciting. But it does so the Mercedes car last year was so much faster than Red Bull, and obviously Red Bull have made this year's car faster than last year.
I feel like the Red Bull's faster than like the Mercedes.
Yeah,
and Christian Horner likes to go, no, it's not. They're just saying that, but the Red Bull car, I think, is faster.
I definitely think it is.
Yeah, I think it is faster. I think it's
Max like climbs up them positions, like back under Lewis. And it's like
because when they were qualifying, Lewis pulled out everything that he could out of the car to get, and he got a lap time that would have gone for pole. But then Max came out of nowhere with a 1:29, which had never that's the new
feel like Red Bull
like
under their sleeve. They definitely have something under their sleeves. So that
I think the issue is going to be next year is seeing how Mercedes develop, because obviously they've kept a car that's very similar to the previous year's car with all the regulation changes coming in so that they don't go over their cost cap, which I think will be interesting because Lewis Hamilton costs an awful lot of money, so I don't know how much longer they're going to be able to keep him in the sport.
I think Lewis just needs to lower his expectations for a pay rise.
a little bit.
I don't think he'll necessarily get another pay rise. Obviously, with 8 world championships, that does increase your value. But it's going to get to the point where, because I think Valtteri's, he's in the teens for for the number of millions. It's either like 15 or 18 million.
I think it's
still a lot. Like what?
Oh yeah, it's still a lot of money, but like Lewis is on something like 40, or those are the
Yeah.
estimated figures that we're seeing.
Yeah.
Imagine. And there's like drivers like Nicky and how much just like the Alfa Romeo
Antonio
drivers
doesn't get a
paid?
million.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, no one of them.
He gets like 800 or 900,000, but he doesn't get a million.
He's so underrated at the same time. Like
He
I
is
kind of
incredibly underrated, and his
Yeah.
hair.
His hair is godlike. His hair.
I
is-
know. I saw those photos. They were the first thing I saw when I went onto social media, and I was like,
Oh, hello.
he needs to drop the hair routine. Like,
I
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
We need also luscious locks like Giovinazzi because his hair is just beautiful.
Antonio Giovinazzi is like a slightly different looking version of what's his face, who's the lead singer of what are they called? They sang Zitty
Main skin is or however you say it. I don't know.
Skin.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Oh yeah, I know who you
Yeah.
mean.
Someone needs to just give Giovinazzi a little bit of a shave, scrape his hair back and put some eyeliner on him, and there you go.
Then we've got it.
I wonder if he
Yeah.
got his hair cut because he got the first points of the season again. I remember that when he got his hair cut because he got points.
Yeah,
He got
and
chased
they-
around the
They
hospitality.
chasing him.
If you compare him and Kimmy, like he's so underrated. I mean, Kimmy's also Kimmy, but yeah, I feel like he's so underrated.
I can't believe how little he is on because the thing is, like, I think he brings a lot of money into Alfa Romeo because he's an Italian driver and an Italian team. That's why I don't think they'll get rid of him for like.
know.
and he's still under the Ferrari management.
Yeah.
People are talking about, the Ferrari driver academy having, all these amazing talents, and Nick de Vries was obviously a Ferrari driver. Mick is like one of the big ones, but they forget that Antonio is
I
a
feel
Ferrari
like-
driver academy. He's like a Ferrari junior.
Yeah.
So yeah, and Kate's just put in the group chat about Kimi having shares in Sauber, who are the backbone of the Alfa Romeo team. So he will keep racing until he doesn't want to race anymore.
With Lewis as well, if he instead of just wanting the money, to do it for him, because obviously
I don't think he does it for the money. He has enough money. I
He
think it's
nearly
like,
never got the contract because he was demanding too much money. I feel like sometimes you can't, in this sport, obviously money is a big part. You can't ask for too much. You've got to sort of do what Kim has done and drive because you love it, if you know what I mean. So I feel
Lewis
like
did
he
say
needs
he
to
said in
do
an interview
that a
that
bit.
he would
It
stop
wasn't-
if he didn't
wasn't
enjoy it. He would.
It was
Yeah, I know, but I just mean if he wanted to help Mercedes, especially with developing and everything, he can't ask for too much money like he was doing.
I feel like there's a lot that the media's covered that you don't know what's true and what's not.
yeah.
I feel like Lewis will try and benefit the team as much as he can because you wouldn't be driving with a team that you've wasted all the money on yourself. But I don't think Lewis is he's obviously in it for the money. What driver isn't? If you're not getting paid, what's the point? But I feel like he drives because he wants to. You're not going to stay in this sport if you don't want to do it. And he said himself that when he doesn't enjoy driving anymore, he's not going to stay. So,
and
although he's asking for a lot of money, he knows his worth because, if some people in the sport, like Max Verstappen, I don't know how much he gets paid, but if you compare yourself to Max, you can kind of see I've got this much world champions, he doesn't, and he's getting paid this much. So you know how much you're worth.
But also Lewis brings an awful lot in sponsorship wise.
Yeah.
He is
Yeah.
sponsor gold. Monster are with him,
Yeah.
not Mercedes. I think
Tommy Hilfiger.
IWC,
Tommy Hilfiger as well.
Yeah.
Tommy Hilfiger, Police, because he's had the sunglasses collection with them. CrowdStrike. Valtteri's not in any of the promotional video. Valtteri's not in any of the promotional videos for CrowdStrike, and Lewis is. And thank you, Kate. Max earns 25 million a year, just for reference. And yeah, so I saw that and I was like, "Where's Valtteri?" For the video, but it's at the end of the day, CrowdStrike will say, "Oh, we want to work with Lewis for this video because Lewis has the most, support. It's like I've yet to see a single Aston Martin advert with Lance Stroll. I
Yeah,
just
it's
see
all
ones
Seb,
with
isn't it?
Sebastian in it.
I
Yeah.
love that it's all Seb, because Seb is. I love Seb. I could go
Yeah.
on all day, but honestly, Seb did quite good considering.
Did.
Yeah.
And so did Lance. Lance was like what, P19, and he managed to go up to P10 or
Yeah,
whatever
I
he
think
was.
he did. He did them. I think like that weekend, it was sort of like for the midfields was very much Aston Martin and Mclaren that like sort of overshone
Yeah.
everyone else.
McLaren, I
Yeah.
feel like are not midfield. Like they are so fast this year. They are so
Yeah.
midfield. Like
No, I don't think they're up there with Red Bull and Mercedes.
no, definitely
like
not.
they're very
But
much.
I feel
I,
like
thi-
they
I
could.
think
Like the higher
we need to sort of
midfield.
like, so you know how they did it like F1, F1.5 and like that. So
Yeah.
like F1 would be Mercedes and Red Bull. Then like I'd put in like F1 2.5 would be.
Ferrari, McLaren.
I don't think Ferrari's up there. I'm
would
going to
have
be
put
honest.
Ferrari in there.
I'd
No,
put,
I would say Ferrari. I think they've only had this like a bad weekend because Charles has put it on pole twice this year. So I feel like.
but there's a great difference, Ellie, between qualifying speed and race speed.
I know, but he finished 4th in
And Carlos got back
Baku.
Monaco.
And obviously the thing in Monaco was a thing, but even Carlos finished decent in Monaco. They both finished very decent in Baku. So I think they have got the quality pace, but they have also got the race paces. For like last weekend they just didn't have any pace, but the races before they have had pace. They have had very good pace.
Well, I'm thinking that the battle for third is most likely going to be between Aston Martin, McLaren.
I think Aston Martin are going to be up there. Maybe if they get a few more podiums and a few more better finishes. But I feel like it's going to be.
Yeah, they need to not be caught out by like I think given how many red flags we've had in qualifying due to the rookies, I think they need to put more effort into sending their drivers out earlier. Like I know that they don't want to because there's all this like mentality of being like, oh, who's going to go first and all that. But given the sheer number of red flags, I don't think they want to get caught out like Lance was caught out again. And so I think they need to. And it was like watching the Formula E qualifying where they go out in groups based upon where your standing is in the Drivers' Championship. And the first 6, so once you leave the pits, you have 2 minutes to get from there round to cross the finish line. And the first 6 who are at the top of the leaderboard are playing chicken with one another. No one wants to be the first one.
So messy. Honestly, they get so messy.
Proper game of chicken, isn't it?
It's like Monza Q3 from 2019 where like 2 cars made it over the finish line, except they're all just about making it over the finish line, but they've essentially messed up their own times by doing that. And then you see all the other 3 groups go out for qualifying, and they're the drivers that are getting into the Super Pole single run shootout. It's like I feel like qualifying as a whole needs to they just need to go out and put lap times in. I mean, there's no other way to say it, really.
I feel like they need to have a bit stricter rules on like people dawdling, if you know what I mean. So a lot like playing chicken and stuff. Like if you are dawdling too much, then you should get penalised because qualifying is to go out and set your times. But like a lot of drivers can dawdle and like mess around and sit in the pits forever, and it can mess people up. But then again, it's like strategies and everything though, isn't it, as well? So.
Oh yeah, it was like. Because at Monza you want the toe, so they were all hanging back to see who would get the best toe off of who. And I think was it when Max and Daniel were at Red Bull and they were arguing over who was going out first, because obviously different drivers you don't want to be the driver going out first because you want to get the toe. So, and I will say Charles only really managed to get it onto pole in Azerbaijan because he got a toe off of Lewis, who was getting a toe as well. So he got like the double.
That's the thing is the thing is as well. If you have the position which works for you to get the pole, then you sort of need to like with
you need
the
to be able to back it up.
Yeah, you need to know like where to position yourself as well. I feel like quite a lot of the drivers sometimes do. Like MotoGP, it's like a big thing in MotoGP, like with getting toes and stuff. So I feel like sometimes it's not always the team's actual decision. I feel like sometimes the drivers also like are like, yeah, well, I'm just gonna sit back and I'm gonna get a toe so I can get it.
Yeah.
But also, I didn't realize how little like pole positions Max had compared to like Charles. Like
He has hardly any.
yeah.
Well, the big credits due. Max did an excellent job. I didn't think that he should have got driver of the day because of that
No, I think Sam
mess up at the start. I feel like driver of the day should have gone to Lance.
I feel like there should be a rule that if the winner of the race should not be able to get, or like the podium people should not be able to get driver of the day, so it at least gives the other drivers a chance.
Yeah, because I mean, Daniel did some amazing moves, and George had an amazing race, and like Lance came from P19.
Yeah, I was going to say Lance was so underrated that whole race. But...
Yeah, so I feel like driver of the day should be more about the actual action that happens on track than just where you finish. But no, what I know what the Mercedes strategy that they were going for was, and I don't know if Valtteri had been told he was going to be the blocker, that they knew Max would most likely overtake him, but he was there to sort of slow Max down, which was why he wasn't pitted and brought in. But even if Max had been held back for half a lap, it would have changed the outcome entirely, because Max caught Lewis as Lewis hit all the back markers, which meant that Max was able to just get right up behind him, which meant that he was able to get the DRS. But half a lap behind Valtteri, he'd have had overheating in the brakes, his tyre wear, the degradation would have been so much higher. Like, place, right time for Max. Wrong place, wrong time for Lewis.
I feel like the Red Bull lot got the strategy spot on for that race. Like,
I feel like Valtteri messed up Mercedes as well. I feel like they obviously discussed the plan. You know, it wasn't. I don't think Valtteri didn't know.
He wasn't clueless. I think
he
was
maybe
just
did it.
hoping that they would
listen to him halfway through the strategy. Like before the race, you're told the strategy. I don't know if like every team, but like you go through what's going to happen. You talk with the engineers and stuff. And if you go shouting on the radio that you want a 2-stop, blah 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 blah, the team can't like magically make that happen for you. I mean, they could, but like it's just going to mess up the strategy.
I did find it mildly amusing how Valtteri was one of the only ones who had a fully functioning radio.
Max's radio.
I love how they were like,
language.
In one of the slow corners, can you just like adjust it for us? Like, yeah, sorry.
He's going 200 miles an hour. How is he to adjust the radio?
Yeah, let me just adjust this thing up here, which is going to be difficult to because of all the padding in my helmet. Like,
I think they should have pitted Hamilton before they pitted Bottas, because I felt like maybe they should have. They should have done that.
It would have worked out. I don't think the outcome would have changed, but I feel like it could have been better for Lewis. But I think they were waiting to see what Red Bull was going to do first. But
well, they were talking about undercutting Red Bull for the second stop.
Yeah.
But Red Bull pitted before Mercedes were able to pit, which forced Mercedes' hand and said, okay, now you have to stay out there for a single stop, because otherwise Lewis was going to end up behind, and they had and because Max had been so fast, there was no way Lewis was going to be able to get that place back, I don't think. And this blah, 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 me being unable to talk, they'd have both come out behind Checo, and Checo was just, he was magic with those tyres. So
he is so underrated, honestly.
I think he's been quite good at tyre management, hasn't he, like Checo?
Yeah, but also Lewis was nursing those tyres, like honestly.
Lewis and Checo were both nursing their tyres.
Honestly, if Lewis and Checo was in the same team together, I'd cry. I love them both.
They would be team single stops.
Unstoppable, honestly.
I think it's going to be interesting come a few more races, should Checo be more competitive,
if
how that dynamic's going to change.
I don't think he will this year, because Max is obviously going to match with Lewis, but if Checo ever gets a world championship at Red Bull, honestly, it's going to be amazing. Like,
Well, this is the first time in several years that Mercedes have had to deal with Red Bull being serious contenders. But this is also the first year that Max has probably had to deal with a serious teammate for a while. Not saying like Daniel was a definite fighter and a difficult competition, but he had so many DNFs that it wasn't something that Max had to worry about.
Baku just flashes to mind.
Yeah, but he didn't really have any issues with Alex or Pierre, and so I feel like because he's matured a lot. I'll give him credit where credit's due. He has matured a lot. He's not quite as quick to anger, and he's a lot more.
He was shouting on the radio about his radio, and he's like, "What? I can't hear you. Repeat that." And also getting so annoyed.
It sounded like a Dalek.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I do like Max. It's just like if I'm supporting Lewis, then I'm not going to be like Max, yes. But I think that he can get a world championship, and if it's this year, I wouldn't be mad about it. But I want the 8.
I think a lot of people, even if they're not Lewis fans, want that 8th world title because it is just a piece of history to be able to say I was there when that happened.
I feel like next year it's going to be incredibly difficult for Lewis to get it.
Yeah, because Mercedes are going to struggle so much.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I can't wait to see next year. Like next season, I am so bored.
Yeah, this season, like, oh my god, I'm so excited. But I'm like, also in my head, I'm like, but it's closer to the 2022 season. Like even when all like the McLaren releases and that stuff was going on, I was like, I just can't wait for 2022. Like
literally, I don't know what to expect. Like this is the thing, I don't think people know what to expect. I think that's just. Oh, I actually cannot wait. Like, I'm so bored.
It's going to be...
The cars look good as well.
Yeah,
yeah.
So good.
I don't know if you can see it properly, but...
The car is sexy.
I love it.
It's so nice.
I cannot wait to see the different team liveries on there.
Yeah.
And I'll say this now. I don't care how nice we're supposed to be about each other's feelings. If Red Bull do the same bloody livery... on that car, car deserves better than the 2016 livery rehashed out with new sponsors. Like that's one of the things that really irk me about Red Bull. They've had the same livery since 2016.
And Ferrari better change it because I don't like the green, and McLaren better change it up and better make it more like the Golf X McLaren because I love that.
Dude, did you just say you don't like the green of Aston Martin?
No, the Ferrari.
Oh, the Ferrari green. I was gonna say.
Whoa.
No, we're gonna have a problem.
No, it's probably my favorite livery, and I love the Williams one as well. Even though everybody hates it, I
love the Williams one too.
Really? I like it.
I think it's
so different.
Quite nice.
Yeah,
it's unique. It's different.
It just suits Williams. Like it's a brand new branding. It just looks so good.
Yeah.
They need to change the race suits because I don't like them. And the white, I don't like the white.
Kate wants the old Williams.
The question is, how old does Kate want it? Does she want like the classic Williams or like
Rothmans?
I have to say, I quite liked the Williams Martini. I thought
you know, the huge sponsor like Rocket. It's so weird seeing the Williams without it, like all the merch and everything. But
yeah. I won't lie. I think I said because it's rocket is how you're supposed to say it.
I don't know.
But I spent years ago saying like rocket.
That's honestly.
And then
obviously, you know me, my pronunciation. Oh, here we go. Pronunciation.
Any of you seen Nicholas Hamilton?
Oh, yes, Kate. I absolutely love Williams. That was the first year George drove, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that was George's first. Yeah,
it's a staple.
No, that was a that was a very good year.
I also love the race suits as well because it's like it matches the car so well.
See you later. Bye. Football's on.
Hello everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to keep up to date with our content. We post videos every Friday at 7 PM, so make sure you're subscribed and put the notifications on. But until next time, have a good day and peace.